So have you back now. Let's turn our attention to the equities market now. At the close of Tuesday, the market closed on a negative note, losing about 5 billion naira due to sustained sell pressure. The market's performance indices, all share index, depreciating by 0.02%. In the same vein, the market capitalization dropped to 23.8 trillion naira. Meanwhile, market bread closed positive with 15 gainers against 13 losers. Look at the year-to-date advancing by 1,091. That's 1,091.81 basis point. Why the year-to-date return settled to 2.55% at the end of Tuesday's trading section. On sectoral level, one out of the major indices of the Nigerian exchange closed negatively, with NGX oil and gas index down by 0.88% respectively. And you have other indices, also consumer goods and industrial, remain unchanged. Well, let's take a look at this now. Mr. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited, joins us now. So take a look at the impact of the inflation report for October on the market. Thank you for joining us, Ambrose Omodion. Glad to have you in the studio. Finally, you're here.
Yes.
I mean, quite a while that we've seen you live here in the studio, but it's good to be back here again.
Yes, thanks for having me again.
Okay, so talk to us about yesterday's performance of the market. Would you attribute that movement to the fever, inflation fever, if I may put it that way?
Yeah, actually, yes, you can say so, but personally, I looked at that the market is still trying to find a direction as we speak. You know, I said that increasing the economic headwinds and sovereign risk has been on the high for a long time, and both investors in Nigeria have come to see that yes, the fixed income alternative they have, with inflation going up, their negative position is still deepening, and they see opportunity in equity. Yes, some might say yes, there's no opportunity. Equity is the opportunities now, because unless you are not a risk taker that you want to still because of let me just, you can still look for the way of. But if a position you're having already, your fixed income return is around the 15-14, and inflation has been already 21.09, you can have more, you can see the wide in terms of both. In an equity position that you're having a dividend yield of a stock that has about 16% dividend yield, 15%, 14%, another 10% capital position in that stock will give you about 24-25%. You are better off in that position depending on what you want to do in the market. But I believe that the inflation that was released yesterday is a guide. As eyes are still on what? On the Q3 GDP ahead of MPC meeting next week. But I see for investors, what we saw on Monday, we saw market trying to start the week on the negative, which happened. But yesterday, if you look at the market, it's a mixed trend we saw yesterday in the market. As we just read, you have a positive market breadth on a low traded volume.
That's
I tell you that investors are trying to let's take opportunity to see what this figure will be. Now they have seen the consumer price index for October. They will now be digesting this hour, against the earnings we have seen for Q3. You see, this is what will guide investors, even those that are holding cash, because a lot of market players are holding cash to watch where the market is going. Definitely. That means for me, once the Q3 GDP is released, and also for what we saw with this growth in inflation, that also give MPC members an opportunity to rethink: will we still hike rate at this point, or we'll just leave it flat or change? You can remember that in the past 3 months, I'll tell you that on month-to-month basis, we're seeing inflation declining. But on year-to-year, it has been on rise. It is that because of what already in the harvest period, I believe that it should slow down. But between the month of November and December, we're expecting to maintain this uptrend. Why? Because there will be increased demand for festive period, and also December will be a period that it's all about buying that price. Right. For that, I don't see, if for me, because they've not addressed the issue of the foreign exchange market. Because if cost is going to oscillate up and down, the dollar hitting 900, coming back to 600, 700, again up and down, they've not really given us a direction where we are going in that aspect. For that, I believe that they should leave everything unchanged. But if they want to hike rate at all, between the other 25 basis point or 50, not all the way of 150 we saw the last time on 100, 50 or 25, that will not tell, okay, let's stabilize and see how usher into the new year. Because this will be the last MPC meeting for the year. For me, investors should not just panic, but I've seen a lot of opportunity in the market. That's why, as traders in the market, we have seen the fundamental. Now use your technical to filter the noise in the market and know what to do. This is the right time to go.
Now, let's dwell on inflation figure for a moment. Yes. MPC meeting is ahead of us next week. of course, we are expecting, I mean, we do not know how that is going to turn out yet. You also have the GDP figure, which is also due for release. We should be expecting that.
Before the MPC meeting.
We're expecting that.
Yeah.
So these are two events, major events or data that we're expecting. But again, inflation figures are here. How do you think it will detect the position or sentiment of investors in the equities market, both equities market and of course fixed income market going forward from now? How is that going to decide or determine or dictate their position?
For those of us that are equity players, I've seen already that even when inflation has been on a hike, we're seeing a kind of a wide growth or rate of change.
Right.
Now people are still in position in equity. Why? There are some companies that were able to pass this increase to their consumers, and they are still posting a positive number as we speak now. And between now and end of the year, because it's the first period, those companies will still do activities that also at the end of the day will support what we have seen third quarter to give us a better number. But for those in fixed income, automatically once the inflation rate goes up, they start jittering. Why? Because they are still going deep in negative. Despite you see that because of increase in NPR, you see yield coming up. But I see the disparity between the yield today and when inflation came in, what we saw, I see that there's a great gap. But in equity market, you can cover that gap with your dividend yield and at the same time capitalization, depend on the stock. That's why I always tell people that it is not time to have 100 stock in your portfolio. For those companies, those sectors that you know that, yes, I'm there, at the end of the day, good dividend will come, capitalization will come. You make money. You must not have 10 stock or 20 stock in your portfolio. Look at those sectors and individual stock that has that potential to give you a good return and position. Because I see that the market is already at oversold region that should guide you that is the time for you to take position, because market has two sides of the coin. Right. The bull, the bear, the overbought and the oversold region. That means when it comes, you're able to interpret and know when to jump into the market. For me, already at the more than half second half of fourth quarter of the year. That means we're entering the
final lap now.
Second rally and end of the quarter. Around the corner for me, this is time to buy stock and be relaxing. And know why? Not buy and go and see the buy and hold, because trend might change. Because I believe those that are holding cash, especially the PFA that are still analyzing the market. You can see that in a few days now, I've seen some stocks, individual stock, getting some volume. Something is happening there, and some sectors have become attractive that even when the market is going up, some sectors are maintaining a positive trend. You tell that people are seeing opportunity in that sector and some individual stuff. For me, there's no panic in the market. Just relax and invest wisely, and that is why knowledge investing is very, very important. Don't just follow bad wagon to invest. If you know that you're not a risk taker, you can look the way of fixed income. But for me, you want to calculate your risk, that's why calculate it and put it on. Look at the way of
Ambrose, I know investors, even though you said you should buy, relax and buy because this is the right time perhaps to invest again. Yeah. But your tide is here. So what is going to be the effect of that your tide? Because I know that they will also have to hold some money again to buy, to go to the market, do some shopping. Some people want to go on vacation, and so it looks like there will be a divide between how much they should spend on these equities or investment and what they should take home at the end of the day to enjoy themselves.
Actually, we are correct, but I tell you that the market as we speak now is not being controlled or dominated by the retail investors. The people that put the short in the market are the you call them the international investors, PFs and other fund managers. They are that pay the short. But for those retail investors, they have opportunity. One, some of the companies they are putting already are giving the interim dividend to celebrate Christmas already. That by December they will earn some dividend. That is part of it. But for me, this opportunity is that for you, in the history of Nigerian market, December has always closed positive, and we have seen that as a good period. Don't forget, I said on this program that from the month of November to April is the best period to be in the market anywhere in the world, because this is the place that you see that activities will be in the market. And already we're starting in November. December is another opportunity. Not that in January we've seen a lot of different activities, but from February start seeing a full year earnings for December year account that will change the face of everything. And then that same period is for have the election. That means outcome of the election also will be a force. If we have successfully a winner match and the war reckon with that win, I'll tell you that will change the face of our market and also expectation from Nigeria.
These companies paying dividend, when are they supposed to close book finally? Yes. Are they still paying or they finally close?
I like that question. Like today now, I think the mag now Komu oil for 2 naira dividend to be paid in December 9.
So those investors are going to enjoy their
dividend. That's why most companies have paid their dividend in October, in the last quarter, third quarter of the year. Some pay in half year, but you can see that many companies this year, have tried to pay in third quarter. So that is the way of telling investors, oh, it's television time, still have something to. This one is a free money. Dividend is a free money. Yeah.
Now, free money, you call it.
Yes.
I'm sure that investors will be good. But okay, let's look at. I mean, this is the third trading day of the week, and we still have 2 days to go. So, what's your outlook now that inflation figures are
I think I like that.
back to inflation again?
Yeah, I believe that the mixed trend we have seen so far. Don't forget that the previous week had about 3 days, 4 days up market, and a day down market in the previous week. We have seen 2 days not down market already, but yesterday was just a flat market, if I would say, because the flat market with a mixed performance. We saw the positive side of the the buyers like to take charge of the market, but because of high capital like WAPCO suffer losses, put the market into red. But today, with the inflation we are seeing now, those that are still holding cash will gotta start releasing their cash, because as many people are holding cash now, we are seeing that inflation is still on the move. And where to hedge against inflation is most of the equity that you can take position. For me, I will see fund coming back to the market. As I said, between now and Friday, we expect a mixed market. But I believe that
see jump.
Yeah, a mixed market. But I believe that the market should stay stabilized at this 43 or 42. Market might not go below 42 before it quickly go up. After the election.
I think a good place to leave it. Ambrose Omodion, always a delight to have you on the program. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
CRO, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
You're still watching Business Breakfast, and after the break, Nigeria's inflation rate jumped to 21.09% in October from 2.77% the previous month, as the country continues to battle soaring food prices, up at an all-time high of 23.72% in October. Well, this is our conversation next when we return from this break. This is Business Breakfast. Please stay with us.